Good day, everybody. We want to give you a short introduction about the immunity genes being tested at Geneway. A bit of background. How does the body protect against viruses? Your body has multiple ways of defense against viral invaders. Just like the military has multiple branches, such as the Army, Navy, and Air Force, and specialized groups within those branches, your immune system has several ways of detecting, isolating, and killing the viruses. And also, just like there are captains and generals in the military to give instructions, genes regulate all processes in the body and give the instructions to the different parts of the immune system. What happens when a virus enters the body? It triggers the immune system, and one of three things can happen: either an adequate response, or an excessive or an inadequate response. And unfortunately, both an excessive immune response and an inadequate immune response can both lead to severe infections. The body has two types of immunity: innate or natural immunity. That's the immunity we are born with that allows the body to fight viruses until you develop the adaptive immunity. Innate immunity responds very quickly within a couple of hours to an infection. And adaptive immunity is developed throughout your life, and it normally takes days to respond to a trigger such as a virus. The body needs both innate and adaptive immunity to fight viruses. Cytokines are like the soldiers in the military. Cytokines act as messengers in the body that are secreted after a virus entered the body to maximize the immune system to protect the body. However, excessive cytokine production disrupts that delicate balance between homeostasis and destruction of the viruses, and that may lead to serious adverse effects such as the cytokine storm. A cytokine storm happens when the immune system overproduces cytokines, which then damage our body rather than protect it. Cytokine storms can occur due to genetic variations. In this slide, you can see some of the genes that we are testing at Geneway that's got to do with the cytokine storm risk. In the first column, you'll see the different gene names. In the next column, the functions that they will perform or that they should perform. If there's a genetic variation, a gene that's not functioning, what is the risk, how it contributes to the risk to develop a cytokine storm when you've got a viral infection. And just a little bit more detail in the last column about what one can expect. So in other words, for example, in the first row, if your interleukin-6 gene is not working, it can increase the severity of a viral infection that you have. Then, if we look at iron, balanced iron levels are also critical to support the immune system. In excess, iron will worsen inflammation and can actually make some viral infections more deadly. New data showed that COVID-19 might alter iron markers and cause nerve damage and secondary bacterial infections. Coronavirus infection has been linked to low blood red cells and low hemoglobin in the early stages, but later on, COVID-19 can cause widespread inflammation and cytokine storms that might injure nerves and increase the ferritin and compromise iron levels. So too much and too little both can have an effect on how you respond to a viral infection, but it's genes that will determine how your body responds and absorb iron and break it down again. And gene tests for 4 of the iron genes. Other genes that are involved in your immune system, on the left-hand side, you can see the overall major mechanism, such as the oxidative stress. Maybe I can briefly explain what oxidative stress is. So just like when you make a fire, you need oxygen. The fire needs oxygen to burn and produce the heat, and that is what we want. But it also creates smoke, and smoke is the byproduct and not good for us. And that's the same with oxidative stress. Your body creates all the time all these byproducts, so it's a natural process, But then we have certain genes that must help to deal with that oxidative stress. And if those genes are not functioning properly, it will increase your risk not only to get infections, but also really struggle to deal with those infections. So here's a couple of other genes that we test for, and that will give you and your practitioner insight as to how to prepare your body and make sure that you've got the best immune system possible. So what must we do? What are they recommending? So sleep is critical. It's one of probably one of the most important things to make sure that you've got a good, healthy immune system all the time. But now there's something called a clock gene that we are also testing for, and the clock gene has a vital role in the immune response. There's a very tight crosstalk between the circadian rhythm and the immune system, and the clock gene has a role in both the innate and the adaptive immunity. And if your clock gene doesn't work well, it's been shown that you've already got a reduced immune system. In addition, this clock gene also interact highly with the iron genes. Now, an article has just come out. Here you can see it on the top right-hand side. So in April 2020, where they are looking at the potential use of melatonin, which is our sleep hormone, as part of the treatment for people with COVID-19. So knowing the result of your clock gene can also provide further insights into your need and potential advantage of using melatonin. Another strategy to improve immune regulation is potential intermittent fasting. We've already spoke earlier briefly about the interleukin-6, and there's another gene called tumor necrosis factor gene that's been shown that intermittent fasting can lower those levels of those particular cytokines. So in terms of food, there's a study that came out now quite recently to show that garlic can help to decrease one of the cytokines called tumor necrosis factor. Here you can see the dosages and how much garlic you have to eat to have that effect. Curcumin seems to be a supplement that is useful for many different things, but it is definitely a powerful anti-inflammatory, also inhibiting some of those cytokines, and the dosage that they find to be efficient is 500 milligrams a day. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for a healthy immune function, and while the sun is our best friend for boosting vitamin D, chances are you're already not spending enough time out in the sun to meet your needs. However, if there are certain mutations or problems in your genes, you will be dependent on supplementation. Your gut health and your immune health are interconnected, and keeping your gut microbiome balance is absolutely critical for a healthy immune system. So that's also something you can discuss with your healthcare practitioner. Vitamin C needs no introduction. However, when you've got mutations in 3 of your genes, called the GST genes, it means that you would really require much higher levels than the usual vitamin C recommendations. Selenium also plays an important role in the health of your immune system. It helps to lower oxidative stress in the body, which will subsequently reduce inflammation and enhance your immunity. The GPX gene determines to a great extent your selenium requirements as well. So that's also something that you can have a look at. You can contact your healthcare practitioner about this combo deal from Geneway that's got to do with immune boosting packs. So these supplements have also been formulated to supplement or to support the genes that are not functioning. You can contact us or your healthcare practitioner for more information. So in summary, our genes give instructions. When there is a viral infection, when you're exposed to a virus, it will trigger the genes to switch on. Those genes must then stimulate your immune response, giving it very clear instructions what to do with that viral infection. There are also genes that must stop the immune response. So once it's done its job, it has to tell the immune system, stop, otherwise you can get a cytokine storm. And then there are a number of genes that are involved in the healing and the repair process after the viral infection. So by knowing your genes, you and your healthcare practitioner can make informed and a science-based decision on how to best support your immune system and match your recommended supplements and dietary requirements with your genetic deficiencies. Please contact your healthcare practitioner or info@Geneway for more information. Thanks for listening and stay healthy.